again, that only needs to go in finger tight at this stage. Next, I'm going to reinstall the camshaft pulley. I've got the new bolt and washer for this. That just needs to go, again, just finger tight at this stage. You don't want any sort of really any significant side to side play in it, but it does need to be able to rotate at this point. Theory behind that being that as you tension the belt, that can move without actually moving the camshaft. What that will allow is for the tension to go on the belt evenly all around, instead of sort of tensioning the rear side of the belt and potentially leaving slack in this side. And if you left the camshaft attached at that point, then the camshaft would effectively move back slightly to compensate later on, and that would put the valve timing and the pump timing out. Next thing we're going to do is just check that the engine is still on time. Two things to do. Firstly, to go over there and check that the locking bar for the camshaft still slides in and out easily, and then to go underneath the car and check that the crank is still on time. Assuming that's all okay, we can then go ahead and install the main timing belt. Okay, the cam and the crank are still on time. I've also just had the realisation that I've missed a step in that I haven't actually torqued my water pump in yet, so I'll go ahead and do that. I do realise this isn't the ideal way to torque down a water pump, but given that these bolts have to go through other things and quite awkward to get at, if I put them all in at the same time with thread lock on, I think it'd be setting before I had a chance to actually get it tightened up. So this is going to have to be it. I'll double check they're all even in a moment. Certainly an improvement over the old one. So that's that. Right, I'm going to get the timing belt and feed that in. Water pump over the top, and that should pass under the tensioner. It's 13mm for the tensioner. Okay, if you can just see what's happening there as I apply a bit of tension onto that side of the belt, you can see the camshaft pulley just twisting there and taking up the slack on the other side of the belt. That's the purpose in having that loose at this point. Okay folks, what we're going to do now is going to go ahead and tension the main timing belt. What you're going to need for this is tensioner spanner and feeler gauges, as well as a small ratchet with a 13mm socket and torque wrench as well with the same 13mm socket. I have to excuse my neighbour there, grass cutting season is firmly upon us. What you're going to have to do to tension this is use the tensioner spanner to turn the large nut on the front of the tensioner clockwise to apply tension into the belt, and what you're looking for is the movable pointer also starting to turn, and what you want it to do is go past the fixed pointer by 2mm. I just don't see how it's possible to actually get line of sight on this, so I'm going with the feeler gauges because I can hold the edge of the gauge against the flat side of the fixed pointer, and the entire packet there is 2mm thick, and if that will just slip above the movable pointer, then that's your 2mm. Careful of the fuel lines there as you're doing this. Just say it does take a few turns there before it does actually start to build any tension within the spring. and you do actually need it, you know, quite loose in order to get the belt on in the first instance, so it's not a bad thing. It's a great joy of doing the belt on a front-wheel drive car, is working space and figuring out how you can get some light into where you're working.